I was talking to this other guy in the Discord community, and uh, what we were talking about was like there's different ideologies when it comes to the Gladius PvP, right? Like for instance, like the some of the Russian players, they're either really focused on like the statistics and the economy um, and they look at a unit like if the unit can't do A, B, X, or Z, they think that it's not worth it. And I my philosophy is more of like there's like certain units in the game can be good matchups against other units, and like I know a lot of times like some of the players like they say, oh, this unit sucks because it can't do this or it costs too much or whatever. But there's certain situations where, like for instance, like bastions, right? Uh, you don't see too many people use bastions that much, or they overuse bastions. But in certain matchups, a bastion could be quite useful, um, like against Tyranids, because then they have to commit maybe like a Carnifex or something to kill it. Whereas, if you're using bastions against Space Marine or whatever, not so great because they have like lots of ways of dealing with it safely with like Predator tanks and whatnot.
Or even like melta grenades.
Yeah, so like I'm kind of my thing is like I like to look at um I mean I try to look at all the units and what they could do, but it's hard sometimes because like for instance, if you look at a guardsman, right? I think it's like it depends on what speed you play on, but I think they're like 8 food on fast setting or 7.5. I can't remember. And then you go to what do you call the Tempest Scions, which are like the elite infantry guard, and they're double the
Yep.
price, double the upkeep. Yet they pretty much do this almost actually guardsmen do more damage with the grenade than they do because there's more models. Plus, they tend to have better survivability because there's more models, right? So you gotta ask yourself, the only thing you're really getting, you're paying double the price, double the upkeep for a unit that can move through cover. So I'm not a huge fan of that unit particular because I just think it's like your return on that, like unless you play on a map that's like jungle and that's all you have, then maybe you would build that unit. But again, I rather have two guardsmen that can do more damage with grenades than have one
But wait,
scion.
don't their basic attack does more damage than a guardsman basic attack
Yeah,
does?
yeah. Well, here there's the other point is like if you're in PvP game, right? Generally
Yeah.
speaking, the when you there's usually like one big or two big fights, right? And then either Army A wins or Army B wins, and so a lot of times, you have your grenades, right? It's not like the only time the signs are useful in that regard is if all your grenades are spent, right? Then obviously they're way better than the
Okay.
guardsmen. But the point is usually when you're playing against a player, you guys are stalemating until the guy makes the first move, and then both all the armies clash and kill each other. So usually you're using all your grenades and everything in those 1 or 2 turns, and then usually in 2 turns you know which army won or not, right? Or what army is gonna retreat. So
But that's why the oh no, I was just gonna say like that's why the Basilisk is really great because like even though you're waiting for like each other to make a move, you can have the long range for the Basilisk just to like artillery pound it all the time you want or something like that, right?
yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's what all I'm saying is like, but this game's come a long way because like I don't know
We had
when you guys
balance
started
changes, yeah.
playing it, but when it first came out, like people complain about the balance right now, even to this day. It was
You should
probably
have seen it
about
back then, yeah.
no, it was probably about 10 times worse. Like how unbalanced
Yeah.
things were. Like it was so bad. But like the reason why the game has gotten a lot better is because you have a lot of people that that play this game a lot, and
Yeah.
so they do give feedback to the developers, and the developers do listen to a lot of the feedback, but they're not going to change everything you say. But I think that's the reason why this game has improved a lot, is because they have taken a lot of feedback from
It came
people that
along
play the
with
game a
it.
lot. Yeah. Do you guys want to do just like a free for all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And
No, Des, we were thinking doing 2v1. We thought
on
that'd be
me,
fair.
like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys aren't bad. You're when I played you, you had a pretty big army. I mean, you're doing Tyranids correctly. I would just say when you attacked me, it wasn't a good, like, it was a tough position with your Tyranid army, because you had like
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, I knew not to engage that choke point, but I didn't want. I was on baby duty, so I didn't want to increase the game a whole nother hour.
oh right, so you were just like, I'm just going in, yeah.
Yeah, like I literally just Hail Mary because, and I was lucky enough. My baby wasn't complaining and was giving us the time we had, but I knew it was just a matter of time before she started crying, and I would have to go get her.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty
I know,
confident in my Tyranid build.
we
I
could do a
really am.
free for all. I mean, if you guys, basically only one player can win. So I mean, you guys can form alliances, but just at the end of the day, it's only going to be one person, king of the hill, right?
Hey man, me and Max don't team up. You can ask him last time we played someone else in a 1v1v1. I took him out first.
You just
Wow.
massacred me.
I did. He quit on like turn 20.
Yeah, what do you expect? You killed my whole fucking army. Everyone lost their morale.
To attention, men.
Well, my
Hey,
start
I'm
is
tabbed out.
interesting.
Whose turn is it right now?
It's my turn, and yeah, I think I'm in. I honestly think I'm literally right in between both of you guys.
Oh,
So
that's perfect.
I'm gonna get sandwiched from both of you. Oh, this should be interesting. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Don't worry, I'm not that good, so we'll just see what happens.
Yeah. That's what they all say. I'm not that good, and then
No, I'm
huge
dead
ass
ass
army
serious, bro.
comes at my doorstep.
I literally just started playing like PvP with Motherland just now. I was mostly playing AI and everything.
Yeah, I would say like AI is good just to like feel out the faction and test things out.
Wait, that's why you're pretty brave that you really like playing Imperial Guard, because they're also pretty tough with the whole food like economy style they play as. Because I remember I was
Yeah,
playing players that were
their economies. I would say. I mean, I play with Chaos. I play with Tyranids. I played with Space Marines. I played with Tau. I would
also
say
like every faction did.
I haven't played Necron actually, but and I haven't really played Orc really. But I would say out of those factions that I have played, I would say AM has the hardest economy. I mean, to do it correctly, because they
Yeah, 'cause
have
you're bound
like,
to negative, right?
well, they have food, they have ore, they have power, so they have a lot of well, another thing too, like with AM, is like they have those edicts, right? So you do have to specialize your city correctly, and then you also have like, I know you can't just go infantry only and expect to win with AM, because their infantry is not really, it's not like a game changer. Like it can be good, but it's not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go storm the base. Like I look at it more like they're good meat shields plus support, and they can do a lot of damage if they're backed up correctly. But problem is, like, you go against something like Bar Wars or Basilisk or anything that does blast, and your infantry is just gonna get annihilated.
Are we on a small or medium?
Medium.
Okay.
Like we could have did simultaneous turns, but the only thing is like it
Oh, I don't like that at all, actually.
it's more about like it's like who can click the fastest basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, neither one of us like it. Though I mean I can handle it. I've played on it before, but I don't like it.
Yeah, the first time I've done it with you, I really didn't like it. I was so confused. I was like,
Well,
what
it's
the
also
hell?
like
We're ready, my lord.
it feels really janky because like if you have stuff on Overwatch, it's like okay, I'm gonna start my turn and then some guy just clicks and moves something and all your units Overwatch, and then you
Yep.
can't move your units.
Like,
So
all your action
I-
points.
In fact, as Tyranids, because most of my units, most of my good units, their main shit is melee. Like when I know I'm about to run into an opponent, I spend a good like 3 minutes clicking on all my units and turning off their fucking Overwatch.
We're ready, my lord.
oh yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
Because nothing pisses me off more than when my Ravener gets caught up in an Overwatch and uses his Death Spitters without, and then me not being able to use his melee.
Orders received and understood.
Or same with like my Carnifexes. Ugh.
Yeah.
Plasma.
Yeah, I think Carnifex are really good.
Oh, they're amazing. For being a tier 3 unit practically.
Yeah, but they
Oh, wow, that is cool. Yeah, tier 3 unit. Yeah.
yeah, I mean they have weakness, right? I mean the thing is you can't. Some people think they could just spam nothing but Carnifexes and you're just gonna like there is some good matchups against them, but overall like they're pretty strong. Especially like if you have a Turvagon, so like if your Carnifex gets like beaten up, you can just heal it right back up again. So
Reporting in. We're ready, my lord. Reporting in. Sir, your orders. Reporting in. To attention, men. To attention, men. We have our orders, men.
So, do you like Imperial Guard in general, or like just in the game?
no, well, what really happened was like I took a break from Gladius, and I was playing Tau at the time when I kind of left. But the thing is like there was a lot of like balance changes and whatnot, and so when I came back to Gladius, the race that I felt the most comfortable with, like far as like knowing what to do, and
Yes.
was Imperial Guard. So I just defaulted back to them. But yeah, I'm gonna play with more races. It was more of like when I came back, I started playing a bunch of people, so I wanted to play with faction I felt a little bit more comfortable with.
Because it all must have been different since the balance changes and everything.
Well, yeah, they like with Tau, Tau used to be like all ore, and then they changed that, and then they changed other things with Tau, and also at the time, like I think people were saying Tau were overpowered. I don't know
They
if they
still kind of are.
I don't know if they still say that now,
Sir,
but
your orders.
I think people had to get used to the drone summoning spam.
We're ready, my lord.
Personally, the way I deal with Tau is shit. I let them summon as many drones as they want, wipe out their drones so that everyone else takes a
fuck up
morale
the morale,
penalty,
yeah.
and then I send in some nice psychic screams.
Yeah, that's a nasty combo. That is for sure.
yeah, the high tyrant is really strong. But I mean, it can be countered fairly easy. Like orcs have that. I don't know what it's the mech gun. That
Mech
thing's,
gun.
The Zappa?
Yeah, AM has Hydras. Then you have SM that has Hunters, and then you've got who else do you got?
I mean, yeah, they can be countered. They can be countered pretty easily. But if you can get some nice morale losses, everything takes a
Yeah.
damage
Well-
penalty, and then they one-shot most units.
I mean, here's the thing, right? A lot of times people are stubborn and they won't build those particular units.
Sir, your orders.
Um, So a lot of times you might be playing a faction that could counter the High Tyrant, but they just don't want to
They don't. Yeah.
tech switch into those things.
That's
Reporting in.
definitely me.
To attention, men.
Oh my god.
For the Astra Militarum. Sir, your orders. Sir, your orders. Fix bayonets. For victory. Death to all his enemies.
Like my thing, I think where I differ from a lot of players is that I think heroes in the game are really powerful, and that
Reporting in.
you should try to at least utilize heroes, at least one hero at least, because most of the time they do help you in those big engagements that you might have. And sometimes they can win you the game, but I know some players don't even build heroes, which they just focus on like mass troops, which can work
It's like
sometimes.
a big investment for a hero.
As ordered. Redeploy.
Orcs don't have a big investment for heroes. They can spam the
Oh
shit
yeah,
out
the
of
war
heroes.
boss. 10 food and 10 minerals and
To
that's it.
attention, men.
Oh my god.
We
He's
comply.
like an orc war boss is as cheap as a guardsman in a way. If you think about it, like
Yeah, I mean orcs, you definitely want to go heroes. I mean, if you're not going heroes as orcs, and you're severely, not doing so well. In fact,
you're not playing the orc way.
the best way to play orc is you farm influence. So you just you shoot at like hornets and stuff with all your orc boys that do hardly any damage, and you gain influence. And then you buy a bunch of scrolls with your heroes, so you jack up your science. And yeah, it's pretty strong doing it that way. Actually, I think if you do orcs in that regard, I think they have the best research tech speed in the game. But again, you have to have lots of heroes and then put scrolls on them. I think maybe SM can tech really hard in this game because they can do those 20% fortresses of redemptions, and you can kind of, I mean, yeah, you can tech crazy with SM if you want.
For the Imperium, we go. We're ready, my lord.
With Space Marines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was funny because a lot of times people think like you're on one city, it's kind of one dimensional, but like honestly, like you can, because you put the Fortress of Redemption down on outposts, you can specialize that one city. Like say if I want to go crazy on influence, right? I just drop a whole bunch of fortresses on the traders and the skull altars, and I jack up my percentage for influence gain in my main city. So then I could do like dual captain or chaplain and crazy stuff. But I'm saying you could do a lot of crazy things just because you can specialize real quick with that strategy with the Fortresses of Redemption.
Okay.
The one weakness though is if you lose map control, or you can't control your battle lines, then the enemy can come in and kill your Fortress of Redemptions, and then you basically die. You basically lose your economy then. So
We're ready, my lord.
with SM, that's their one weakness. So what you want to do is make sure you don't lose map control, at least behind your battle lines, because
Sir, your orders. We're ready, my lord.
Yeah, because that's why you really gotta utilize the Fortress Redemption. Because that can really, well,
As
like what
ordered.
you call it, like a
Redeploy.
fortified early line, like, however you want to say that.
yeah. And then about the tournament thing, more
You
I-
could just call me Mo.
okay, Mo. So I have I think maybe enough people for it, but the only difficult part I see is like the time zones are a little bit crazy, because you have half the players are Russian, and so their time zones are like a little bit
Reporting
you
in.
know, on the opposite end of the world, and then the North American players are kind of, so I don't know.
Sir,
I have to
orders.
kind of look at it again to see.
I mean, I think if you can do it on the weekends with enough notice, we might be able to like really work that out.
Go.
So like if
Sir,
you
your
said
orders.
Saturday
To the
for
waypoint.
America,
The
then
enemies of
what is
man
that?
die this
Sunday
day.
for Russia?
Reporting in.
I don't know. I'm like too tired to think.
That would
but
still
probably.
land us both on the weekends. Yeah, if only there was a bigger American player base. Or
Yeah, I
yes,
do like
in
your
the
idea
time
though.
zone.
Like maybe like advertise it like, okay, this weekend, Death's Cry is gonna try to host some tournament play. These are the players that want to play on this time and this day, and then maybe that makes more sense. Maybe a little bit more easier to organize. And then
Yeah.
when that I open the game up, and then if there's players ready in the queue, I can kind of organize who plays who, and that probably makes the most easiest sense. I mean, initially I was like, oh, tell me your availability and all this, but then that seemed complicated after, because I got all these weird different time zones and everything, and I'm like, oh crap, this is confusing.
Yeah, the scheduling will be
To
messed up for
attention, men.
sure.
To attention, men.
Depending on who is like, are you gonna do like a free for all, like 1v1s? You're thinking like,
Yeah, I was just gonna keep it simple, 1v1. I mean, there's a couple players that are interested only in 2v2s, which is fine. I mean, 2v2s are interesting, especially if you have like people that really work together as a team. A lot more interesting.
yeah,
Like, I played a game with Divine, and we did a pretty good job far as like I had the Psyker hero, and I was basically scanning every turn, key spots on the battlefield. But like I would always ask him like, okay, do you need me to scan anywhere? And we were doing a pretty good job. Like I think
yeah, you like see two different like combos from two different factions working together, like a combo, like one will do like scouting and one will do like assaulting
well,
specialization.
yeah, I
Is that
mean,
what you mean, like, or
yeah, I mean the actually like I think when it comes to the 2v2, like I think if both players work together, and because a lot of it is also like, say I tell my ally like, oh, I'm gonna go heavy into infantry, and then so usually what the other player will then do, say, okay, well, I'll go anti tank or anti
Forces of
like
the Afghan military
in 2v2 you can utilize like your best units and then make the units that you're weak to, right? Like to counter, like,
Yeah.
so say, you know, Chaos is like, well, I don't have any good anti-air. Can you make some anti-air for me? So there's good combinations you can
Sir,
do.
your orders.
Yeah.
We have our orders, men. We're ready, my lord.
Like usually the good players, they like figure that all out in the first few turns, and like I said, that usually helps a lot. Also, like map control and, you know, stuff like that. 1v1's more like it's
Reporting in for the Imperium.
it's like, you
We
know,
go.
you're making all the choices and you alone, and
We're
you,
ready, my lord.
so it's a little bit more on your shoulders of like how the game's gonna go.
Like anything could happen.
We're ready, my lord.
Whereas like you play a 2v2 and say you screw up, but then your ally does like an amazing thing, and oh, you're back into the game now.
Go pull it
Reporting
in
in.
clutch, yeah.
To attention, men.
I need to get
Sir, your
outposts.
orders.
I'm scared to scout.
We're
Let's
ready,
see.
my lord.
My luck, I'll probably run into 4 robots.
For the Imperium.
They're just
We
the best
go.
wildlife to find.
As ordered. Redeploying. Sir, your orders. Sir, your orders. To attention, men. We're ready, my lord. Sir, your orders. Reporting in. Forwards for the Emperor.
Oh gosh, there's a outpost right beside me and I didn't even grab it. Ah, that sucks. Okay.
To attention, men. To the waypoint. To attention, men. We're ready, my lord. Orders received and understood. To attention, men. We comply. Sir, your orders. We're ready, my lord.
Okay, I found some robots.
To attention, men.
Hello. Wait, have you guys ever played against the dead?
I have not actually.
Because they
I've
do
s-
actually play the. What?
I've seen I think I've seen them play once on a stream on one of their streams, but that was a long time ago. They do watch some of my videos I put out, because Because one of them messaged me and was like, "Oh, I watch all your videos," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Well,
Holy shit. That's pretty cool.
I'm like, "You watch all my videos?" I'm like, "I got like probably like 90 Gladius videos on my channel." It's like a whole week of your life gone. Yeah, typical Gladius match is like usually 1 hour at least, if not 2 hours. Sometimes if they go really long, 3 hours. Our match will probably be long because instead of it being like 2 turns, it's like a 3-turn because it's a free for all.
Reporting in.
Yeah. So if I take time to kill each other for that time period.
Forces of the Astra Militarum have arrived. To attention, men! To attention, men! Sir, your orders. Reporting in. Reporting in. We have our orders, men. For the Astra Militarum. To attention, men.
So you guys watch Lucifer by any chance?
To attention, men. To attention, men.
No, is that like a show on TV or something?
Yeah, Netflix there.
attention, men.
Yeah, Netflix.
We're ready,
yeah.
my lord.
It's a pretty good, nice show.
Reporting in.
I mean, I like it, yeah.
Forwards for the Emperor. Reporting in. Forwards for the Emperor. Reporting in. Reporting in.
How about Supernatural? You guys ever watch that one?
Is that like with vampires and stuff?
Yeah, like some vampires and like some like random like weird like supernatural creatures.
I think my wife was really into a show like that. I don't know if that was the title of it or not. I know it had vampires in it and stuff, but I'm not sure if that was the show.
Maybe Vampire Diaries. That I watched. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that rings a bell. Yeah, that's a show my wife like. She was like obsessed with that show.
It was so weird because it's like I know it's like a girl, like a lady show, but like
Oh, it's totally a lady show. But I gotta admit, I like the Damon character in it. He's pretty.
Yes, Damon, right?
He's a good anti-hero. Like they really wrote him really good, you know.
Because honestly, bro, when you look at the story, he was not a bad guy. It's just his brother was the fucking asshole.
Well, you know, the funny part is when I guess because I saw a little bit of it too because she made me watch it, right? But the first series, you're like, oh man, this Damien guy's like such an asshole, like he's a jerk, and then come like the last couple seasons, you're like, oh, Damien is so cool, and like, oh he
was a chill guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. Because it was some chick, bro. She was like, yeah, like you should really watch it. I was like, all right, fuck it, let me just check it to see. And once I saw the first 2 episodes, I was like, I can watch it a little bit more. And then I'm watching the whole fucking show. I was like, man, I feel like a little Barbie girl.
You guys make taking a quiz really difficult.
Yes? Oh, no, programming.
No, it's chemistry.
Oh, shit.
But you know what's so funny about that show? It was so cliffhangery. Like every episode was like,
oh my god,
you're like, okay, here you go, and then the last 5 minutes is like, dun, 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 and then what's gonna happen? Oh, see the next episode, you know.
I know next time. Yo, it's just like Dragon Ball Z. Will Goku win this fight? I know next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it was. I don't think there was ever one episode where it was like, okay, I don't really need to see the next episode. But it's like, yeah, every episode ended with like some twist in it.
It's like, are they gonna die or are they gonna like make out or something?
Yeah.
Just thinking about that show, man.
Charge men to victory!
And then what kills me too, like you had like a spin-off called the
We're
original.
ready, my lord.
Like you got another set of vampires set in the
I'm
same
ready
world.
to serve.
Even that one I watched. Oh my god.
Understood, my lord. Reporting in. To attention, men.
Oh yeah, that's a cry. Do you
Your orders.
do you know by like the lore by any chance, like with like Warhammer 40k and crap?
Not really. But I mean, I know a little bit, but not to the point where I could have a conversation with someone that does. I mean,
Well, I feel like it doesn't seem like a big conversation. Like it's just like it's like about this faction. Like like all the it's so fun. Like you see like
To
the
the white
political
point.
views of
We're
each
ready, my lord.
faction.
yeah, I'm just glad that Warhammer hasn't gone woke yet. At least, not that I know.
Oh god, yeah, yeah. I see what you mean there. Yeah.
Like I'm definitely
that
not
would
one of
just
the.
ruin my day. If that
I'm
happened.
not one of those woke people that like everything has to be woke and every type of entertainment that we have. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people. I'm like, okay, my entertainment does
Take
not
the
have to
red
have
pill, man.
politics in it. It doesn't have to have wokeness in it. Just
Because that's the whole joke of Warhammer, bro. Like
We're ready, my lord.
everything is hypocritical. Like it's just pure hypocrisy.
Well, that's what I'm
It's-
saying.
it-
The moment they put wokeness in Warhammer, it's gonna lose its its
I
uniqueness.
don't think they could put wokeness in Warhammer. Like there's
Like,
nothing.
Oh, we
There's
don't
nothing
have
woke about
we
Warhammer.
don't have enough female units in this faction. Okay, we need to like all this
Like,
stupid stuff.
Well,
Oh,
I
we
mean,
don't.
if you
Oh my
really think
God.
about it, like
No,
Warhammer was
you
the first
put that
woke
in there.
company. If you think about like in that regard, Warhammer was the first woke company because they have an entire faction dedicated to female
That
warriors.
is true. Battle Sister
I
Nuns.
mean, and no one cared about it until all this wokeness started happening.
Sisters of Battle. Adeptus Sororitas here.
Well, the worst wokeness is like, oh, that girl is too hot in a video game. You gotta make her look more ugly. Like
Yo,
you know what happened to
you
what
got-
was it called, Mass Effect? How they made all the women like super ugly in it. Like,
Oh
but
my
no,
God.
what about
Not
the
even
recent game,
Dragon
the last
Age 2.
ones too?
like that was so hilarious. It's like, okay, we gotta make these women look like, yeah, you would not want to date them. Like, okay, perfect.
They look like literal men, bro. I mean, no, I don't want to be transphobic, but like they look like men, bro.
And the developer was like so proud of himself. He's like, we are proud to be woke. Like, it was just so stupid.
Dude, BioWare went very, very woke. Like even their Dragon Age game started getting really fucking stupid. Like,
I heard that even like the gay community was like, gay people don't talk like this. Like, why are they putting that? Like, they were even upset how woke they went with the whole like the different choices you had in Dragon Age. They're like, this doesn't make any sense. And yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was
I hated
crazy.
it. So like, as a heterosexual man, as a straight man, your choices in Dragon Age 3 was a really hot chick who you never got to sleep with, who didn't travel with you at all, or a really butch-looking chick who was with you all the time and you got to fuck her. Like, what kind of fucking choices are those?
But
Like,
yo, guys,
the really hot
that's-
chick, it wasn't about her body. It was about just having that real deep connection. And then the butch-looking chick who you actually travel with and communicate with and get to fucking have sex with, yeah, she's butch. She's not that attractive. I was like, what kind of bullshit is this?
Bro, she's not an object. She's a woman.
It pissed me off. Like, they made the hot chick to where like there was no actual sexual romance, and then the one who was actually with you who was your traveling companion was this not very attractive woman.
It's
But-
all about the personality.
But here's the
man.
thing, right? Like, I know a couple like hardcore girl gamers, right? They've never come to me be like, "Oh, I wish women were represented in a real way," and they're
act
just
no
about
normal females. These are normal females, bro.
no, but
It's
they're
not
like the ones that
bullshit.
actually play the games and like the games.
Yes.
Like they could care less that oh that girl doesn't look like a real woman in this game. Like they don't care about that. They just want to have fun or they enjoy the gameplay or whatever. Like you know the whole yeah like that saying like go woke go broke like that's so true so many times that they
But
try to do that.
that's what happened with the Warhammer community. I remember like you guys know that like journal company called Vice.
Oh yeah they
Like
yeah
oh yeah,
Vice is interesting because Vice is like they're very good at with their narrative and their documentary style, but like they are so like they're so biased. Like when they
that's the thing,
decide how they
make
want to
us look
cover
old, but
something,
they're biased, yeah.
they're worse than CNN. Like I mean,
To attention, men.
it's
Well,
crazy.
I mean, I know it should be, but I think CNN still takes the cake on that one though.
Well, you
Like,
saw that they were making like these funny memes because like this was a couple days ago where they had like on their latest news it said something like protests are oh no fiery peaceful protests or something, and then in a minute later they changed the fiery to put they got rid of it because
oh,
I guess
wow.
yeah I guess someone at the editing level of CNN was like, oh, you guys cannot put the word fiery in that because that doesn't I guess fit their narrative or whatever because CNN
Go ahead.
I was just saying I mean like CNN's been pushing like the protests are all peaceful like well if you go back and watch a lot of their right from day one they've really pushed that like the protests are peaceful.
I mean, like Don Levitt,
Right.
Don
They
Levitt
haven't
or something, that
they haven't been
or-
pushing their protests are peaceful. They've been pushing that their riots are protests.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But like, they can't really do it anymore because it's like every time they have the camera on, things are burning down. People are getting kicked in the head. People are getting shot,
Getting
killed.
shot.
So
Yeah.
you can't be like, oh, it's a peaceful protest. Like that narrative doesn't
Yep,
work anymore with
Can't
them.
say that. That's
Even
for
Joe
sure.
Biden has now officially said like he's gone against it now, which is like
Oh
his
wow!
his
Hey,
strat.
if you don't vote for him, you're not black.
Yeah, his strategy was to be like, I'm gonna, I'm defunding police, and that's what needs to be done. And Donald Trump is a problem,
Imagine
but
that,
now
bro.
Joe
Imagine your
Biden,
president saying
Joe
that.
Biden has officially gone out and said that the rioting is bad, which is funny. It only
It's
took
ironic.
him like
It's
2
funny.
or
That's
3
for
months
sure,
to do
yeah.
it, and only 31 people have lost their lives to this chaos. But whatever.
But like that's why it gets really fucked up because you know how they like that saying like if you say all lives matter, then they really start to snap and start like going on a berserk rage.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You know,
here-
before it was all lives matter, it used to be it's okay to be white.
Well,
Yeah,
here's
now it's not okay to be
here's the
white.
funny part, right? Like I know, this has gone so deep into the ether. You wouldn't believe how crazy this is. Like in all factions of our life, we now have to be like looking over our shoulder, make sure we say the right things, and like there's
It's like racism for white people now.
no,
It's
but
like what the
here's the thing too. Here's the stupid part. Like I have mixed. My kids are mixed, right? And
holy
the-
shit.
yeah, but here's the
Holy
stupid part.
shit, bro. What?
They look white, and guess what? People are gonna say they're white because I guess they look more white than Hispanic, right?
Your orders.
But it's just so stupid that the
Wow.
world we live in because identity politics is not a good idea, and if we're gonna judge people just on what identity they are, or if they're a woman,
How
if
they
they're a
look,
guy,
yeah.
like you remember the Me Too movement, how that was so popular,
God,
and now it's like
yeah.
died down a bit. And here's the stupid part. Like there's cases where women do get abused or raped, and we should take that serious.
But that's
But the whole
problem, bro.
the Me
Like,
Too
they
movement killed
abuse
that.
it.
They go after Kavanaugh like he's some rapist or something. Like the girl, like, there's so many holes in this girl's story about, like, oh, I was like,
It's
I
false
was.
accusation.
We're
It's
ready, my lord.
false.
She magically was like, oh, he raped me, and she was fixing a door at home, and told her husband, and now she goes, sends a letter to the Democrat congressman, and like everything was so like, oh, really?
Yeah,
To
she did.
attention, men. As ordered, redeploy.
Anyways,
To attention,
we're
men.
we're going full blown into politics here.
But bro, that's Warhammer. It's
Attention,
grim dark.
My point is,
For victory.
Warhammer, please don't go woke. That's all I gotta say. Just do what you do. We like Warhammer the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. I support my dark gods. You know, you gotta love your
As
supporters.
ordered, redeploy.
You gotta support your dark gods, right?
To the waypoint.
From
You
a
said,
tabletop perspective, they could
To
lower the
attention, men.
prices on their
For
fucking
the
models.
Astra Militarum.
You
To
know,
attention, men.
even though like literally everyone says that, but when you think about it, they're doing pretty good. Because I checked on the website itself, and for some reason, some models go sold out somehow. Like, how the hell?
Because they have a very supportive fan base, but that doesn't mean their
Yeah,
models aren't.
hardcore. Yeah.
Fucking a Hive Tyrant model for the tabletop is like 45 or 50 bucks.
Oh yeah, but yo, quick question: do you like the Primaris Marines? Like on a personal opinion?
I mean, yes and no. I
I
think
mean, like
I think they're
you don't
cool.
have to like Space Marines, but what do you just think about the whole Primaris perspective to try to like do it or something?
yeah, if you would shut up, I'd give you my answer.
my bad.
Hush for a fucking second. My opinion on the Primaris Marines is I like them because they make something badass more badass.
Okay.
But the other thing about them is that it's making a Space Marine into a Super Space Marine, and they're already it's redundant. It seems a little redundant. Like
Oh.
you just took a Superman and made him into a Superman. Like, I don't know. I feel like they're redundant. Like, not that I don't like them. I just think they're very redundant for what Space Marines are already.
It's like how you can make a superhuman already a superhuman. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they made sense, but it's like, oh, we shoved a third heart into his chest, and now he's even better. It's like, come on, man. Like, y'all couldn't have come up with something else. Like, you made Superman a stronger Superman. It's redundant. It's boring. But
yeah.
that being said, I think Space Marines are just badass, and I love them. So I do love Primaris Marines. I just wish they would have came up with something better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, yeah, okay. Checking my stuff. All right.
The Imperial Guards. The planet broke before the guard did.
Yeah.
That is the most badass fucking line I've ever heard, bro.
You're talking about
planet broke
Storm
before the
String?
guard. What?
You're talking about the song from Stormstring or whatever?
Oh no, I didn't hear the song, but like it was just like a scene, like when Cadia fall, like straight up, that was like the you know how they have like those sayings, and it was just a saying scene, like the planet broke before the guard did. Because Abaddon's like
Yeah,
turned
well,
to the Black Crusade or something.
There's actually a song for it. Let me find it for you. Okay, it's called Cadian Blood. That saying comes from the song. I'll show you.
Okay.
Listen to that song while playing this game. It's going to get your rocks off.
We are ready to support the firing lines, my lord. We're ready, my lord. As ordered, redeploy. For the Astra Militarum. Sir, your orders. For the Astra Militarum. Give me a task. There is no time to waste. We're ready, my lord. Sir, your orders. To attention, men. We're ready, my lord. Reporting in, my lord. Reporting in.
Oh,
Sir, your orders.
wow. Okay.
Sir, your
Alrighty
orders.
then.
We have our orders, men. Taking the position. I live to serve.
But you know, that's why
Sir,
too,
your orders.
you guys gotta check
We're
out that
ready, my
YouTube
lord.
guy, Alvarez or so.
We have our orders, men.
Alvarez, I think it's
Reporting
called.
in, my lord.
Something like that. And like he like it's so funny, like it's called like the Emperor's
There is
speech
no
to
time
text.
waste. Give me
And
Yeah.
I don't know how
To
the
attention,
hell
men.
this guy does it, bro. But he literally takes
attention, men.
all the fucking lore, right? And just makes a
We comply.
whole joke out of it. He makes a goddamn joke out of 40 gigs.
We're ready, my lord.
But like it's so entertaining
We will
somehow
bring them
when you like
down.
just listen to it.
We're ready, my lord.
It's like, what would the Emperor say about this? He's like, you goddamn idiots. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to worship him as a god. But yet everyone worships him as a god. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, I just ran into a lot of robots.
Well, thank goodness.
What the fuck is this? I just ran, dude. I've got 4
That-
robots over here.
I think that's called Gladius for, yeah, you're experiencing Gladius at its finest.
I just ran into 4 robots. They're right next to my base too. Right next to my base. That's fucking
You know,
stupid.
that makes me very comfortable because now I know all the robots are by you and not by me.
Oh Jesus,
Woo.
this sucks.
Well, I just got chased by like 4 to 5 cultists. I'm
I'll
re-
take
Oh, yeah, that's a
5
good
cultists
boy.
over fucking robots.
yeah. Well, I got my forces split up, so I'm kind of outnumbered.
Don't forget, the planet broke before the guard did. I just can't help myself, man. I can't help myself.
This is fucking stupid. Yeah, I just lost my Malanthrope too. This, oh dude, like this
Oh
is.
yes, you see,
Wanna
his
fucking-
failed order is getting fucked now, so this is perfect now.
All right, what you
Took
gotta
out my
do now
balance
is you
rope
need to make an
below 340
alliance. You gotta make an alliance with somebody.
To attention, men.
Jesus.
Saturating area.
So
with
do you
suppressive
choose to
fire.
join the forces of chaos?
Astra Militarum.
It's pretty fun, believe
To
me.
attention, men. Sir, your orders.
Come
Stupid.
join the
Like
dark
they've chased me down to the point to where they've actually cut off my 2 bases. They're between my 2 bases. 4 fucking
We have our
robots
orders,
with their
men.
stupid tech priests.
For victory.
Oh wow.
To all his enemies.
I hope
Yeah,
you know
no,
I'm supposed to
it's
the
fun.
city.
These 4 robots just took out half
As
my
ordered,
fucking army,
redeploying.
along with my
Suppressive
Malanthrope.
fire. As ordered, redeploying.
I've never had such poor luck with robots, not to this extent.
Oh man, I've had some really bad Gladius games
ready, my
where
lord.
the RNG just screwed me so hard, and it kept screwing me. Like, you're not talking like 1 or 2 times. It was like constantly throughout the whole game. But yeah, that's usually how Gladius goes. You get once you.
I mean, I feel like they need to do something about like robot spawns to where they don't spawn a certain distance from like your base. Like I'll tell you the distance these robots are from my main base. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the first one. 5, 6 is the second one. 7 is the third one. 8 is the fourth one, and then behind him is the tech priest.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
Just like you gotta avoid that area until like you get like a big army or something, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that would help if I knew they were there before they killed all my
Well,
shit.
I think it'd be nice if the algorithm was like there, like I think the very corners of the map, fine, have maybe 2 or 3 robots, but like near the your 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 area respawn, there should only be one at the maximum. Because
Oh, okay.
like yeah, dealing with one robot, it's doable, but when you run into like 3 or 4, you
This
get
early in the game, it fucks you up.
yeah.
It
I
fucks
mean,
you
one
up.
robot is like it'll give you a little bit of a headache, but like but it's like when they're masked up, they become kind of a problem. So I think yeah, the developers like made an algorithm where there's not 2 or 3 robots right close to your base. That would be nice if they did that. But then you wouldn't have frustrated people, you know.
Reporting in, my lord.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie,
God, bro.
I'm pretty frustrated about this.
He did a whole explanation, and then he just cut you out. I'm sorry, bro. I can't help to say that. Oh my god, this is
You get overly excited about stupid shit.
I'm sorry, bro. I can't help it. I get pretty.
We are ready to support
I
the
get
front lines,
pretty
my lord.
angry about it
Redeploying
sometimes.
heavy
Like, what the
weaponry.
fuck are you
Reporting in,
leaving?
my
Leaving
lord.
I'm
Marching
laughing
with
at.
all due haste.
And I'm like, I'm laughing at nothing, man. I'm laughing at
Reporting
nothing.
in, my lord. For the
I mean,
Imperium,
don't lie
please
though.
go.
You guys ever laugh at your own jokes before?
Orders received and understood.
Yeah,
To attention, men.
but
Oh,
not,
you
not
see?
but not
You see?
often. But not often.
I mean, not like you do, man. You laugh at
To the
everything.
waypoint.
Oh no, come on. If I laugh at everything, I'll sound like a goddamn psycho.
Reporting in.
Believe
We
me.
have our orders, men.
Okay, you see? Okay, don't count that laugh, all right, guys? Don't count that laugh right there.
For the Astra Militarum. To the
Okay, maybe I
waypoint.
do laugh too much. Fuck me.
Where am I going with this engineer? Well, do I want to go over to where the robot is? Probably not.
Just get yourself some rocket teams, you know, some weapons.
Oh yeah, I got them, but they're in the wrong side of the map right now.
Oh.
Well, I think I will. Yeah, I'll probably go to the left side. Okay.
Dude, this fast is throwing me off. I usually play on very fast.
Really? Very fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like anything under very fast. This is throwing me off. I'm supposed to have things, or I think I'm supposed to have things that I don't have yet, and I'm like, why the fuck do I not have this yet?
Yeah,
Well, we're
that's
all
like
in
warp
this
speed.
together. You guys remember High School Musical? We're all in this together.
That really sucked. Losing. I lost so many units to these stupid fucking robots. It's pretty much game over for me. They're actually attacking my main base right now.
Oh
Okay.
wow, really?
Reporting
Yeah,
in.
I wasn't
Here
fucking
to
with you
serve.
guys. Like
To
these
attention, men.
these 4
Heavy weaponry
robots
standing
were only
by.
4 to 6 tiles away from me.
Heavy
They're
weaponry standing
about
by.
to take down my main base.
Damn, man.
Sir, your orders.
Those robots.
Honestly, bad luck, really. Yeah, that's bad luck.
Redeploying heavy weaponry.
They've cut off my 2 bases from me. They've killed pretty much everything I've had,
Bring them dead.
and now they're attacking my main base.
As you wish, my lord. I shall ensure it is
Me
so.
continuing this game would only to be a nuisance to one of you, but I'm definitely not going to be the winner.
Reporting in.
All right, maybe form an alliance with Chaos. work something out with him.
All right,
Dark
Max, we've known
God.
each other for a long time, and even though I've completely obliterated you many, many times, how about an alliance?
Reporting in. Reporting in.
You know what? If you sign a pact with our dark gods, I think we could believe work something out. You know.
To attention, men.
I don't
Sir,
know if
your
the
orders.
hive mind can sign a
Reporting in.
pact with a
We're
dark
ready, my
god.
lord.
Look, we could work something out, right? Anything is
Sir,
possible
your
in the
orders.
war. Just you know, like give me some juicy stuff, you know. Give me some juicy, you know. Slanesh is looking for some new body parts, you know. Oh my god. Uh, Wait, Jessica, you ever try Downward 2? The
Dawn of War
Game, yeah.
2.
Yeah, Downward 2, you know, like the Dawn of War for 40k.
No, I've never played it. I played Dawn of War 3 a little bit, and then I think like the developer stopped supporting it, and then
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it for me.
I mean, Downward 3 was a sad case because it wasn't that bad. It was just different. Like, fuck.
I liked Dawn of War 3. I just wish I had better support. That's like my complaint.
Yeah, it sounded like when they first released it, they were like kind of hyped and like, okay, yeah, we're gonna back this game up and we're gonna add more content, and it just kind of like quickly faded out. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what they were like. I honestly don't know what their their thought process was, because they gave a lot of content, but it was in the form of skins to like units and heroes, and I'm like, what the? No one wanted that. We wanted at least another faction. It took them like 2 months just to come out with a new map.
yeah,
Yeah. that
Like you
was-
had like 6 different skins for one unit, but God forbid you get like some fucking a new faction.
Heavy weaponry standing by. To attention,
Yeah, because
men.
most of it was only 3 factions too. It was.
Yeah. Well, no, the first one was 4 factions, bro.
Yeah, the first one, but like the third one was only 3 factions. That's what also
Yeah.
kind of killed it in a way.
Yeah, well, I mean, no one was happy about that, and that should have been their first clue. But everyone
To
was
attention, men.
thinking that, okay, well, we're gonna get more factions. Like, there's no way they're just gonna keep it at 3. But then you got like your first couple skins. I'm like, okay, cool. They gave us some skins. That's cool, I guess. And then the next set of skins came out, and like, oh, well, that's not what we're asking for. And then they came out with some new maps, and people were really excited about that. It's like, finally, we get some new maps. But where's another faction? And you know what they did? They came out with some more skins. That's what kept killing the fucking game. They were giving content people didn't want. And if they would literally
People
spend
were
5
pissed.
minutes on their fucking forums, they would have realized that, but they didn't.
yeah.
Well, I
they,
mean, I guess they can't listen to everyone on the forums because the thing is sometimes like I don't want to sound like a dickwad, but like sometimes like the community can get very toxic.
But it gets more toxic when you don't give them what they want.
No, but like you see, like that's the thing. Like, you know, even if you do give them what they want, like it can still get pretty like, okay, guys, like that's enough swear words in one sentence. Oh shit. Holy Moses.
Yeah, Max, I think we're going to have to team up. Because with what I have, I'm still dealing with these fucking robots. And yes, there's still 4 of them. They're just
I've been waiting for
about
this day
done
for a
killing my
very
main
long
base.
time. I've been waiting for the day that Mose would ask for my support.
They're about just over halfway killing my base.
So, I gotta know your location then. Like,
No, I'm not going to give you my location. We'll just say we're allies, and if we run into each other, we'll go our separate way. But I'm definitely not giving you my location.
Heavy weaponry standing by. Heavy weaponry
would you
standing
look at
by.
that? Desert Cry already called it from the start of the game. we're gonna do like a little highlight going on here.
I'm sure either one of you, Desecry would have asked for a restart if he had my start. I've watched enough of his games to know he would have.
Oh yeah, I'm not afraid to ask for restarts. Well,
I would have
don't-
asked for a restart, but this is probably going to be my only game for the night, and I just want to fucking get through it.
Okay.
Whatever happens, happens.
By the Emperor it shall be done.
You know,
Reporting in.
I roll the dice, deal the hand I was
Heavy
given.
weaponry standing by. Heavy weaponry standing by. Sir, your orders.
Master, I'm all in, baby.
For the Astra Militarum.
Hey, if this was tournament play right here, you got to go with what you got.
As ordered, redeploy. Medic! We need a medic here!
My economy kind of sucks.
Reporting in. We comply. For the Astra Militarum. For
The
Imperium,
Astra
we
Militarum.
The Imperial Guard are the hammer. The Space Marines are the sword. Sword. Precision strike. You know, I just really like in Dawn War, like you have like the voices from the units, and for some reason I just love listening to the berserkers. They're just hilarious to listen to. It's like I heard you the first time. Just really aggressive dudes, you know, just being dudes.
The roid rage.
Yeah, the roid rage. Oh god.
That's a real
Where's
thing,
the
by the
blood
way.
I was promised?
That's a real thing, by the way. I've seen a couple of people have little episodes of roid rage.
I'm fucking hyped up on that testosterone.
Is testosterone or steroids?
Steroids increases testosterone production. That's why your balls shrink. Because it's the same when you eat fatty cakes and your body stops producing insulin. If you're giving your body the chemical that your body normally provides for itself, then it stops producing that chemical because you're getting too much of it.
Like just imagine hearing that. You're like in the room somewhere, and from across the hallway, you hear
As
my
ordered,
balls.
redeploy. Medic!
My balls.
We need a medic here! As
Yeah.
ordered,
Oh my god,
redeploy.
bro. My balls.
Bro, you gotta be like
Ready,
15
nigga.
or 16.
We're ready, my
No,
lord.
yo, believe it or not, I'm fucking 22, bro. Believe it or not.
Jesus,
As
dude,
ordered,
because
redeploy. We're ready, my lord.
I grew out of
To
laughing
attention,
about
men.
something like that when I
Heavy
was like
weaponry
18,
standing
Yo,
by.
bro,
19.
come on.
Sector
I know, like sometimes, like if you're like in a
The
really
enemies
serious
are flying
environment,
high
you'll be
this time.
serious.
We
But I
will
mean, like
put them
you know, if
down.
like you're like drinking and then you got like a little like stupidness going on with your boys, you're like, hey guy,
Orders.
penis.
Yes, my lord. Executing
Oh my
building
God.
routines.
Oh no, that wasn't so funny, but yeah.
You did it. You didn't mature fast enough.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
Where do you need us?
penis. Oh lord.
You're laughing, bro. Look, you're
Like, I'm laughing because how stupid it is. Like, who the fuck does that?
Orders received and understood.
It's a stupid concept. Okay, I'm not laughing because of the you said the
Bro,
word
bro,
penis.
bro,
I'm laughing
don't deny it,
because
bro.
you were
Don't deny
talking
it.
about people laughing about
We're
people
ready, my
saying
lord.
that.
I won't necessarily laugh at it, but I mean, like, you know, it's like say you see something really stupid happen, like you know. Let me see. Oh God, I need to think of something here. Yeah, you see, I can't think of anything now. I see dreams of blue. I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I like this song.
Me too. I learned it from Shrek. Come Come on, you know you learned it from Shrek. Come on, come on. Come on now.
Reporting in.
I don't know. I don't know which Shrek though. That's what I'm asking.
Shrek? You know the ogre? Onions?
The which movie?
Oh! That was the first one, wasn't it? With the song and everything?
Wasn't the song that and the first one was somebody once told
Once
me.
Yeah.
told me the
That's the
world
song in the
was
first
gonna
one.
Beginning.
ain't the
Attention,
sharpest
men.
tool in the shed. She was looking kinda.
Oh, what have I started? Oh, great.
That's a girl's like, fuck me. Oh yeah, you ever hear English man say fuck me? Like,
No.
bro, it's the funniest shit, bro. Like, this guy, he was like my teacher for like sailing and shit. And bro, every time when some shit happens on the boat, like, yo, he says it so funny. Fuck me. Oh my god, this is the funniest shit.
I got a question. Do you watch a lot of South Park?
Oh no, I mean I used to like when I was younger, but like not so much anymore. But yeah,
Sounds like
South
someone who
Park,
would
yeah.
watch a lot of South Park.
But they
Oh
have
yeah, I was
liberal
thinking this.
something.
I was thinking that like you kind of sound like you watch a lot of South Park.
Now that
But I
you-
tell you what, I watch a lot of Family Guy.
Okay.
You think that solves it, right?
I watch a lot of Family Guy too, but you crack up over everything, man. It's fucking hilarious.
Heavy weaponry.
Well, you
standing
know
by.
what?
We have
I
outlaws,
like
men.
it.
I mean, be your own person, man. You be your
I'm a
own
man
person.
of culture.
Reporting in, my lord.
Extravagances.
Ready, my lord. To attention, men.
I said, what the fuck is this guy saying? Are you on crack or something? You know that's why people are always afraid if I was to take drugs,
To
you know?
attention, men.
Because like this is me like sober. So can you imagine me coke the
Yes,
fuck up?
Lord General.
It's like,
No,
what kind of drugs is
no.
this guy on, man?
Cannot match.
Reporting in. Sir, your orders. Orders received and understood.
All right. What am I doing here? Yeah.
Are you creating basilisks?
I'm creating everything.
Also, Lehman Russ,
Desecry
alright.
Def
Heavy weaponry.
goes
standing by.
Basilisk, Lehman Russ, Tank Commander, some Guardsmen, Hydras.
I just want a heads up, you know, because like if I just see starting like artillery out of nowhere, then I'll know that's Desecry coming from our ass. So goddamn. Goddamn.
Well, my economy is not so hot this game. I'm
I don't want to hear shit about how bad you're starting.
It sounds like somebody's salty.
I'm a little salty.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how salty are you?
I'm about 11.
Fuck me.
Losing my Malanthrope was a pretty big deal. That made me really salty.
Mo, have you ever been Tomb Blade rushed?
Oh yeah, that's like the big thing right now with Necrons.
Yeah, that's some real salt right there.
Yeah, that's bullshit, man. For like what tier they are, they've got to be the best unit for the tier they're at.
No, it's like turn 20 and you've got like 5 Tomb Blades attacking your base. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they got that upgrade. Invulnerable or something? The Void Shield?
I think Necrons in general are just a really hard faction to deal with right now.
What do you require? By the Emperor it shall be done.
Okay.
Reporting in, my
So
lord.
these guys want a piece of me.
Give me
All
a
right.
task. We're ready, my lord.
Let's
We're ready,
move.
my lord.
Yeah,
For
this
the
guy
Astra
here.
Militarum. This way lies glory. That way lies a bullet in the head. Give me a task. Here to serve. Reporting in, my lord. Where do you need us? Give me a task. Reporting in. We're ready, my lord. We comply. Sir, your orders. We have our orders, men.
And this robot has 3 HP left. You guys want to hear like kind of a weird thing that happened to me? I think it was like, yeah, half a year ago.
Oh
It
yeah.
ha-
Go for it.
All right, so I don't know if you check my channel. I did quite a few streams for this game called Dragonfront. It's like a virtual reality card game. Uh, but so anyway, that virtual reality card game that I think Oculus published it, but it was done by High Voltage Studio. But that game actually died out. The developers literally dropped it or abandoned it basically. But anyways, that was abandoned like a year ago. But then like halfway through the year, the developer contacted me and was like, "Oh, we're gonna bring this to Steam. Would you be interested in beta testing our Steam version?" So I was like,
heck?
yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, sure. And then he's like, okay, I need your email because I gotta send you like disclosure contracts that you have to sign, like where I guess I can't reveal stuff about the game or whatever.
Well. Holy
not,
shit.
not like this game was very popular to begin with. So I was like, okay, sure. So I give him my email and everything, and but then I never get an email for these contracts things, and the game never showed up on Steam. So like, I have no clue what happened, but
That is pretty fucking weird.
it is very
When
weird.
did that happen?
It was like half a year ago.
So like earlier this year.
Yeah,
So, like,
exactly.
These guys
Oh,
just contact
Corona
you and
probably.
disappear.
No, it was extremely weird.
I mean, you know how many businesses shut down when Corona hit, right? I mean, it very well could have been Corona.
Yeah, maybe.
A lot
Okay,
of games that have been in development for a few years got pushed back, and I'm sure any like up and coming development of a game just died because they probably didn't even have the financial support. A lot of times when these games, like if they're not from a AAA company or have like private investors, you know, a lot of these games that were trying to get kickstarted, once Corona hit, they didn't even have the finances to fucking wait it out.
I mean, that's why it's amazing that Gladius is still running though. Because is it like 3 people that's like running this game or something?
Gladius established themselves before coronavirus happened. Gladius has been out for longer than a couple years, I think.
We're ready, my lord. Give me a task. We're ready, my
But
lord.
like that's what I mean, because like it's not such like a big company that's like running it to begin with. You know what I mean? Like
Freaking robot is pounding my expansion right now. I gotta deal with it. Yeah, so that was like, I don't know, that was really weird because I never got to that point where I was supposed to sign these disclosure papers, and then B, the game never showed up on Steam. This was before coronavirus though. That's the weird part.
Well, you're saying 6 months ago. It's already August. Or
Okay,
half,
it must have
right?
been okay. Sorry, it must have been more than 6 months because it was definitely, yeah, it must have been almost a year ago.
No.
Yeah, I got the time wrong a bit because yeah, I know it wasn't during the coronavirus.
I mean, yeah, it's well before the beginning of this year and starting around last year, like right?
Yeah. So what do you guys do currently? Are you studying in university, college, or you guys have full-time jobs?
For like sailing, so I'm trying to get my captain license. So I can like sail boats for like chartering and stuff.
Okay, cool. Oh gosh, I'm getting swarmed by all this wildlife. Okay,
Where do you need us?
it's all
Onward,
good.
men. Delivering dead.
How about you, Deskcry? What do you do?
Well, I'm a licensed optician. I fill eyeglass and contact prescriptions. I'm also a manager. That's a whole different spiel because I got to deal with, you know, each person differently and everything. But yeah, I enjoy my work. It's fun. It's interesting because I work for a big company and I I get to. There's a lot of stories that go along with it.
Oh damn!
Where do you need us?
What do you require?
So you got some like weird events happen or so.
By your will.
Yeah,
They
it's
will be eliminated.
well. I mean, I work for Walmart, so but I work in the health and wellness division. But I also get to see all the politics and all the things that happen in the whole store. It's there's a lot of funny things that happen.
There are
Oh,
literally
okay.
YouTube channels who
Yeah, but
showcase the problems
that being
happen.
said, the company has treated me really well, and it boils down to where the leadership is, right? So if you have, say you have a bully at the top, then that's gonna trickle down, and that's how they're gonna run things, right?
We're ready, my
So
lord.
I think it really boils down to if you have good leadership,
We're ready, my lord.
you know, that helps a lot. I mean, you guys probably
For the Astra Military.
been around places where you're scratching your head and being like, why they have this person as the person in charge? You know, like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're like, how the hell
Every
did this
single
person
day.
get that position? Or
Delivering dead.
Every single day I was in the army. That's exactly how it was.
Supporting our men. Orders received and understood.
You actually learn real quick in the military. The only thing you need to do in order to get promoted really fast is run really fast.
So you could get to like a
but
staff
here's the
sergeant.
thing, there's a lot of videos of like people just bashing Walmart, like it's such a bad company and this manager made me, and I'm being honest with you guys because like I have nothing to gain. Well, I work for the company. I guess you could say I'm biased, but It's really not. Like, yeah, there's gonna be bad managers in any company that do stupid things and things that make no sense, but there's also, like, I would consider myself, but like also people that uh, treat it like a normal job, and they want to work hard, get things done. And what I think what you see is a combination of people that just go there for a paycheck, and then they want to just make tons of excuses like, oh, my manager told me to work harder and I gotta do more freight or whatever, whatever. And so there are people that whine and complain, but there's also people that, like, they need to pay their mortgage, they gotta pay for their kids to go to school or whatever. So they work hard, they do their job, they go up in the company, and you don't hear their stories ever. You don't hear, but you always hear like the people that, oh, I did it for a summer job and it was horrible, like.
Yeah.
But that
Well,
being said, I understand that you could work in a company like that and you could get like a really crappy manager or supervisors and make your life a miserable. you know I get that. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, and in fact I'm pretty sure that's happened in a lot of places in Walmart. But I just see, like, you either get one huge biased opinion about one company, because I've worked in a few different companies, not just Walmart. I worked for Luxottica, which is another really big company, and same thing. Like, it really boils down to who's running which division, what's their personality like. Are they a good leader? I'm telling you, you have a bad apple at the top that trickles down, and that's what. I've had some awesome managers in my life, in my work life, that, like, I still have them as contacts, and I sometimes talk, reach out to them, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I get kind of fed up when I hear like these, like, complaining stories about, and I know they're not true,
I
but
can hear it, yeah.
they're just there to, like, because I've seen some YouTube videos, and I'm like, really, like, that story doesn't add up one bit, because I've worked for the company. I know how the company works.
To attention, men.
But that being said, there are a lot of crazy things that happen in that company. But like I said, I think for being such a big company, it's given a lot of people jobs and opportunities. So I think there's a lot of Walmart
Paid for
hate, like.
people's, school too.
Well, there's a lot of Walmart hate, like, oh, it's killing small businesses and all that. Yes, that's what big companies do, just like Amazon, just like McDonald's, just like, it's a doggy world. That's how corporations work. They want to get rid of the little person.
Yeah, they don't. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of these big corporations started off as small businesses.
Reporting in, my lord. Taking the position.
So I own a landscaping company, and I hope one day I go nationwide. I mean, that's just how business is. You can either stay the small guy, or you can grow, and growing eventually means you go nationwide. And some businesses, it also means you go international. That's just how it is.
Well, here's the thing, right? If you, gosh, I gotta get my city down. Shit. I'm, like, really playing bad this game. Yeah, let's drop that there. Okay. And then what am I doing? Let me just finish my turn before I say something.
Reporting in. We have our orders, men.
My troops are so low on health. Okay, yeah. No, here's the thing. The moment you become, like I said, like a pretty, like a business, like a big business, okay? Then you become like a target for all those people that hate big businesses, right? But that being said, I think it's one of those things where, like, I'm definitely, like, getting in the rabbit trail here, but there's like boycotts that people sometimes bring up, right? And I feel like that's a good example of like, I guess these big corporations, right? So when when they decide to do something, whether it's like political or something controversial or something that doesn't fit the narrative, you see either both sides of the spectrum call out for a boycott or whatever, um, which is interesting. Uh, because small businesses they never get brought into that equation because I guess they're small, right? I guess they don't matter in that scheme, I guess. But what I'm trying to get at is that thing is, if you take out Amazon, you take out Walmart, you take out all those big Fortune 500 companies, what fills the void? And then what happens is, yeah, fine, the smaller businesses, they're gonna get more profitable and whatnot, but for the consumer, if you're a consumer, that's not good for you because, as we know, more competition is better, brings the price down, brings more competitiveness to the market. So I think it's one of those things where it's a balancing act, right? And I think it's more complicated than what people think.
Yeah, you
Of
call
course.
like the private sector.
It is more complicated than what people think. That's why you still have economists today still arguing which is better, socialism or capitalism. If it was so simple, we wouldn't still have that big argument.
Well, how
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Capitalism or communism?
I mean, okay, so I as a business owner, I
Well,
would definitely fall under the capitalism part. But that doesn't mean socialism isn't without its merits.
well, I'm
How
from
do you mean, like,
Canada. I'm from Canada, so I'm a good person to when it comes to healthcare, right? Because Canadians have a universal healthcare, which just means
Canadians
that
also cross border line to get health care in the United States.
exactly. But what I'm trying to say is that um, now people automatically assume because I'm Canadian. I'm 100% about universal healthcare, which I'm not technically because of just what you explained. So universal healthcare is great in the sense of uh, it's great. Like, oh, I gotta see my doctor. Okay, you have a little card. You go in and you show the card, and boom. But here's the thing: say you got cancer, or say you got some type of problem that's diagnosed. You now got to go into a queue. You have to go into like a waiting line, and that waiting line could be 3 months. It could be 4 months. It could be 2 months. It all depends on if there's enough specialists or a doctor, right? And then the level of care, right? So some people come into the United States because your health system is better, or maybe there's the doctors are there's more specialists for that particular need, right? Like my
that's
mom,
immigration the problem, right?
well, my mom was on like a wait list. She had like stage 3 cancer, and it was terrible. Like
Yeah.
she, yeah, the health system did not work very well.
Like she was put on a waiting list, like, or
Well, like for different treatments and whatnot. Like it wasn't
oh yeah,
like it was sad. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. Because
yeah, for
like
sure.
in America, you can get uh
Orders received
you can
and understood.
you have maybe a better fighting chance to deal with certain cancers
We have
because
our orders, men.
you have more options, you have more treatments, and you can get it done sooner. With Canada, because it's a universal system, everything's so you have to wait in line and queue up, and everything. People think sometimes that, oh, if the government's in control, oh, that's good, that's good. Sometimes it's not. And yes, I see the side where, well, if you have these private corporations in control, they're going to corrupt people and rip people off. Yes, that does happen too. But just like we talked about business, I think it's more complicated than what people make.
Reporting in, my
Um,
lord.
Yeah.
It's not a clear win for either side, I don't think. But
Heavy weaponry standing
all right,
by.
let's kill this freaking robot. It's about time to do it.
Oh wait, so I killed 2 of the 4 robots, only to reveal there's 3 more behind them.
Heavy weaponry standing by.
So overall, I had 7 robots within 10 tiles from my main base.
Here to serve.
Wow.
We're ready, my lord. To the waypoint.
That's a lot.
Heavy weaponry standing by.
Telling you,
Your
this
orders.
this
As
is
ordered,
the
redeploy.
single worst
We're
start
ready,
I've
my
ever
lord.
had. They just about killed my main base. My second base is halfway dead.
Reporting in, my lord.
I should have already be working on my fourth base, and I don't even have a third down because of this crappy robot problem.
Yeah, I got my 3 bases up, but I'm gonna just tell you guys straight up that if the Democrats lose, it's entirely their fault. Like, oh man, they just don't get it. I mean, maybe Biden wins, who knows? But I don't. My point of view, I don't see that happening. I honestly think it's going to be a landslide for Trump, just based on what I see. They don't understand the average American, in my point of view, and I could be wrong, but I mean, if trust me, I'm saying it before the election happens, but that's my prediction. I think it's too late for Joe Biden to say the right things at this point. I think
For sure, yeah. That's for sure.
I mean, the whole party, it's not just Joe Biden, the whole party was like, "Oh, the protests are peaceful. How dare you say that they're burning things down and it's a peaceful protest?" Like, they were in Congress saying stuff like that. And now they have to flip-flop and be like, "Oh, the violence is bad and they shouldn't burn down." Black Lives Matter, their own people, the leaders in that group said it's okay to loot small businesses and burn down things because of respirations.
You know what's even funnier is the places where most of these riots and lootings
It's
are
the black
happening
community.
is in their black communities.
They're
Yes.
hurting their own
Exactly.
people.
They're literally hurting their own community economy.
And
It's
this is the kicker here. So these business owners, these liberal business owners, are like, "Well, I'm okay because I put Black Lives Matter on my window, so they're not gonna burn down my shop." Oh, you want to bet, buddy? They don't care. They don't care. At the end of the day, if they want those Jordan sneakers or they want that for Louis Vuitton handbag or whatever, they're gonna get it. If they came there to loot, if like, the whole. I mean, here's the thing, right? I'm sure there's people in that movement that are like, yeah, we want racial equality and we gotta stand up for.
just a few bad apples.
But here's the thing: if you really see what's going on, that's not the case of this movement. It really isn't. I mean, I don't want to. If you do the research, you'll find out.
Political agenda being used behind it.
Of course, it's
there is.
it's a socialist. Look, the BLM is a very strong word, and it's very Black Lives Matter. That's a very strong thing that comes in people's mind. But if you go to what their ideology is, it's a socialist, fascist ideology. Everything that they have on their website and everything. I mean, but people don't know. They don't know that. They just be like, "Oh, well, you don't care about black people." It's like, oh, okay, I see where this argument's going.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Max actually had this conversation. It's funny because me and Max had this exact conversation the day that we met playing this game, and I told him, you could go onto Black Lives Matter's website, and that charity that you can donate to, if you actually look where those are being distributed to, they're distributed to the campaigns of Democratic politicians. Not even black communities. That money that you're donating to their charity donation, their charity fund on their website, you look up that charity fund and where it's being distributed, the top 10 distributions are Democratic political campaigns. Bernie Sanders.
Well, here's the funny part is I know there's gonna be some hard lefties disliking my video because this is being live streamed. They're gonna dislike it. They're gonna leave a comment like, "Oh, you guys are a bunch of white racists." even though
Yo, bro,
they don't want to
finish
hear
the
anything
joke,
that
bro.
we have to say.
I'm fucking mixed.
They don't want to debate it. They don't. It's just, oh, you're racist. Oh, you're a white. You know the new thing that they do. If you disagree with the ideology of, like, you know, the political correctness, they call you a Nazi. Like,
Yeah,
there's not one
That's the
drop
ironic
of
part.
German
They're
blood
the
in me.
fucking Nazis, bro.
I don't know.
What
It's
the
so
fuck?
crazy.
They're the fucking Nazis. All we do is
That's the
we
new
live
term. Like,
to
if you
speak our
disagree
own
with anything
opinions,
on the
bro.
left, you're a Nazi.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was telling Max that, you know, that whole thing is just ironic because anyone who knows a little bit of their history knows that Nazis stood for National Socialist.
Yo,
And
fascism.
knowing what Nazis did,
Okay,
knowing,
so
knowing what
yeah,
they
yeah.
did,
The brown shirts, right? I did my history class. Okay, the brown shirts, what they used to do, this is before they took power, right? They're called the brown shirts, right? They were like Hitler's, like, cult followers that did everything
Yes.
Hitler wanted to do, right? They would literally go and find people against their party and beat the crap out of them with, like, like wood bats and stuff. And
Yeah, exactly.
they were just like Antifa. Like, I don't know if you guys know Antifa, but they did the
I'm from
same.
America. I know it.
They
Much like
did the
feminism
same
about, like,
exact
SJW.
tactics. They did the same exact tactics that Antifa's doing. And they had the scapegoat, right? Like, the Jews were like the evil, like, oh, the problem for the German people.
so-called evil, yeah.
So, okay, the Trump supporters are the new Jews now. Like, we're the evil scumbags of the America. Anyone that
Of
supports
course, you're a
conservative
scumbag
or
of the
anything.
earth, they'll call you.
But
Sorry, I just had. Oh.
it's exactly like that, and they flip it, and they're like, it's crazy. I mean, and there's so much content on YouTube right now of, like, just the stupidest things that they're doing.
The controversy of it all, like, you know, it's like, you know, like, I don't want to get racist, but it's like, you know, white people saying the N-word. Like, for some reason, rappers could rap it all they want saying the fucking N-word. But if one white person says it, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah,
Like,
I
where the
honestly,
logic-
I don't care about that. Like that doesn't, like, bother me, and I understand.
know,
I
like,
understand
know
that.
it doesn't bother, but like, it's the logic behind
Yeah,
it. You
yeah.
know? It's like,
Look,
why is it such a big deal?
but for real though, like, I understand how that works, and, you know, it's their word, they can use it, but why? Okay, I get that, and it whatever. They if hey, if I was black, I'd be like, that's stupid, but whatever. My point is that there's what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so there's so much content there on YouTube, right? Like, you had the Chad Zone, which was so funny because, like, you had Donald Trump be like, I gotta send in the guard in there and clear that out, and the mayor's like, no, you
yeah.
don't you do that, and you're creating this, and it's a summer of festive love or whatever she said. And then
God, yeah.
and then you have a bunch of murders that happen in the Chad Zone, and it's like, oh, I made a mistake. It's like, and then the same people that are going, let's defund the police, one of theirs gets, like,
Yeah,
beat
they
up or
want the
shot,
police help now.
and then they're going, police, we need the police. It's like, you're screaming you want to get rid of them and kill them, or, like, abolish
Defund
them,
though.
and then at the same second you're asking for the police to come and rescue you. Like,
Reporting in, my lord.
Like,
Oh,
the
man, I
hypocrisy is too much, bro. It hurts your fucking brain.
Here to serve. Sir, your orders.
Like, you know, that's why you begin to realize we live in a Warhammer 40k universe, bro. Everything is based on hypocrisy.
As someone,
Everyone's a fucking hypocrite, bro.
as someone who served in the United States Army and has lost friends defending the Constitution that is supposed to be unbiased and give everyone their freedoms here in America, I am very disappointed and ashamed in a lot of Americans.
Shocked? Yeah, I can imagine.
Not even shocked. I'm disappointed and ashamed of them.
We go.
And a lot of Americans. And you know what?
My lord. Orders received and
I
understood.
think
Suppressive
what's even
fire.
worse
Push
than the
them
black
back.
people who support
Sir,
Black
your
Lives
orders.
Matter
Reporting in.
is the white people who support Black Lives Matter. I'm so sick of this
Yo.
I'm an ally bullshit. Hold on, shut up, Max, because you don't let anyone
Heavy
talk.
weaponry, standing by.
I'm so sick of this I'm an ally bullshit. I'm so sick of it. It's like going to someone and them telling you they're not a racist. Like they feel the need to tell you they're not a racist.
I
Even
got
if you
black
didn't even
friends.
think first off, I hate that. I hate when people do that. Like that doesn't mean you're not a racist. But yeah, it's the same thing. Like it's the same thing as someone's like, "Oh, I couldn't be a racist. I've got black friends." So now you get people who's all like, "Oh, I'm an ally. I can't be racist." I'm like, "Oh my god, why are y'all pandering to this bullshit? No one cares. Like your typical person is not a racist.
But
Do you, do,
Mo,
do racists still exist? Yes.
you know what? Like, I'm just gonna say it, but there is a lot of black people just taking the red pill right now and walking away from the plantation of the Democratic Party. Like, I don't know if you've heard of. I mean, there's a black woman. What's her name again?
The one who
Candi-
painted over the building
Candace
on
Owens.
Yeah.
Oh man, she
Cadence Owens.
she took a huge ass red pill. Like I mean, she's just dropping those red pills everywhere. But she speaks out like at like the total core of the truth of what's happening in the black community. And then yeah, I mean, but there's a lot. Like I even have friends that were like hardcore Democrat, hardcore like, and that are black, and they're just like, I'm not dealing with this. This is so stupid, and I can't believe I used to believe like this. But yeah, there's still people that are like buying everything, and you know, there's people out there that actually think like cops are literally salivating and like, oh, I can't wait to kill a black man. Like, oh, like there's
I live in a predominantly black neighborhood, and I can tell you that is how they think. I live in a poor, predominantly black neighborhood because I don't like paying for over costly bullshit, and I meet with these people just to see how they think. And yes, that's actually it. They really think that way. And so, like, I did I'm also a college student. So while I run my business, I also go to classes. But I did a report, and I wanted it to be a field report. So I went around my community here, and I actually talked to a lot of these people because I wanted to get down to, like, why is it that so many of them don't have jobs? Why is it that so many of them are in poverty? And from my experience talking to them and looking from the outside in, it's the same thing. I get the same story every time. They don't want to work and make someone else rich. They don't understand the concept of why am I doing all the work to make someone else rich. They they buy their groceries. This is what really blew my mind. Even though we have a Walmart 2 blocks down from us, most of the people here on my block buy their groceries from the gas station. I'm not talking about like buying like a soda here and there. I mean, literally, they shop at the gas station. That's where they buy their groceries. Almost all of them also, while they're there, buy cigarettes and lottery tickets.
all right.
It's absurd. I actually did a book report on this, which, by the way, my teacher gave me a bad grade on it because she was liberal. I'm pretty sure that was it. From reading from her remarks, whatever. I went to my community. I talked to them. I asked them, why is it they don't have licenses? They drink and drive. Why is it that they don't have money? And they couldn't tell me. It's like, me, I don't have money because I ain't got a job. Why don't you have a job? And they're like, I don't know. No one's hiring. But then, like, once you start asking the right questions, it's all like, well, you know, I saw that.
You're racist. Fuck you.
Well, you know, I was like, well, you know, a lot of them don't immediately go to that, you know, but
For real?
for real.
Well, you know,
That's the media.
did you also find like doing this like because what I think too, and this is what Candace Owens says. She's a black woman, but she talks about that a lot of black households only have one parent, and it's like when you're raising kids up with an absent father. Again, that's also there's statistics that show like when you have both parents in a family unit that it's a lot better for the children, you know, growing up and doing the right choices and whatnot. But I think there's actual proof that shows that there is an absent problem in majority of black families.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was actually going to get to that. One of my questions was even asking him about that, like how many of them
but
did.
black people don't want to talk about that because I don't know why, because that's getting to the real core of the problem, right? They don't. And that's what Candace Owens was saying, is that if they would start taking some red pills and be like for instance, like Chicago, right? You have black on black gun
Crime,
violence,
yeah.
right?
Serious
The
black-
black community is suffering so much in Chicago. Like you're talking about 3-year-olds, 1-year-olds getting shot. Like, come on, man. Joe Biden style. Come on, man. Um, so like no, but honestly, like, but where is the Black Lives Matter? Where are their slogans? Where are their marches? Like they're dying.
Like the
Like more
problems that actually matter, they completely miss it somehow. It doesn't make sense.
right. But yeah, go on. I was just saying is that that's one thing. Like, if I mean, I think that's very important too, and I think people over miss that, or it's not a good talking point. I think that people in that they don't want to talk about single parents, but I think that's a major problem that they need to look at.
We're ready, my lord. Here to
Yeah,
serve.
I got a few of them to actually
Yes,
talk
my lord.
about it.
Firing.
And what I've deducted from it
Where do you
was
lead
that
us?
a lot
To
of
attention, men.
times, and I think this whole thing is just one big vicious cycle.
Fix bayonets.
A lot of times, the father either gets locked up because he grows up with people planting the seeds to create this notion that he's not going to be successful in life, so he resorts to crime to be successful because he's already been told that he lives in a white person's world and there's no way he can be successful, so he resorts to crime. So either they're locked up, or the woman is getting massive government checks from being a single mother, and she doesn't want the father in the life of the kids. Not only could she collect a child support from the father, but she also can get government pay. I know a lady who actually used to work for a college that I worked for, who literally had another child just so that she could max out that government pay that they'll pay her. One of her children hit 18 years of age, and she had another child just to have that max amount that she can get.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And here's the thing too, like here's the thing. If so, I guess I would, I mean, I guess I'm in the Caucasian group of identity politics. If this was happening in my community, I would call it out. I'd be like damn, like white people need to, as a family unit, they need to stay together, and like this is affecting the white people, like the white man that gets arrested or whatever. Like, I mean, and
I mean,
every
people after white people.
yeah, I mean every race like every group of people we all have our shortcomings and things that we have to deal with. Not one group is perfect or whatever, but the reason why we were even talking about the black community is because of what's happening right now with the movement, about the riots and all that. It's not like oh, let's talk about black people because because we just want to, we want to make them feel bad. Like it's more of like for them to, like, okay, if you're saying black people are having problems of they're not, they have all these issues happening and these things need to get changed. Well, what's the solution? And if so, what is it that's causing these problems? So I think you have to find the truth to begin with. You can't, because the problem is there's all these different. I think there's the main thing they're pushing right now with the political part of, or the part that the narrative that's being played right now is that they're supposed to have a victim mentality, kind of like what you're saying about the checks and everything, and not to work for white people or for people, big business people or whatever. I think so. They're been told that they need to be a victim, like, and that's why this whole, like, they even had their Democrat leaders to say, like, do you support
Reporting in.
reparations, right? And all the Democrats raise their hand, and they all raise their hand, right? And I mean, that's just nonsense. Like, just because I'm white, I have to pay the government money to give to them. First of all, I'm not even, like, you know, my ancestors were not even in America to do the slave trade and whatever. Another thing is, if you look into like slaves, the history of and the slavery is bad for any race or any people, but the thing is, all through history, there's been slaves. Like, and it's not just black. There's been slaves in every, but obviously the nations that had the empires and everything, they're the ones that controlled what was going on. And I'm not saying it was right, but I think the problem is okay, if you're gonna do respirations for that group of people, then you gotta do it for every single group of people that's ever been a slave, you know?
Yeah, I have this conversation with people all the time too. I'm first generation American. My mother and my grandparents actually come from Hungary.
Deploying and firing.
So me being first generation American I'm labeled as a white American, but I'm actually, since I'm first generation American,
In, my lord.
in a lot of definition, I'm more Hungarian than I am American. And I tell people all the time, it's like, okay, you're trying to get reparations from me for being white. Joke's on you, I'm Hungarian, but you don't see me going after the Mongolians for shit they did 1,000 years ago.
Exactly. Like, if we're gonna go back in history and recorrect history, right? Why stop at that group of people? Why not? Let's go back to what the Mongolians did. What about the Romans? What about
The Huns.
you know
We can go on and on.
It's like, what about
But,
the
hey,
Egyptians?
hey,
The
guys,
Egyptians.
sorry
Yeah.
to cut you off there, but like I'm gonna like head to sleep there because I don't want to sleep too late there.
Okay, sure. The AI will take control over you, I think.
You're leaving? Jesus,
Yeah.
Mac, you do this every fucking time.
I know. I mean, like it's just
Don't start
slept-
playing these games unless you got time for them, dude.
I know it's just I slept pretty late last night, so then like I still feel I'm a little sleepy from last night. So it's just I feel a bit tired, and then I gotta get up pretty early tomorrow. So I just sorry about that. Yeah, I did think that we'll get so deep in the conversation.
Well, to be fair, like, there were some turns where I didn't even do anything. I was just talking. It's like I was building
me
nothing.
teaming up with you just went out the fucking window.
I'm sorry about that, bro. I mean, it was just so good the conversation. I thought to myself, oh shit.
I mean, you should always expect these games to go for a while. I mean, 1v1 games can go for a couple of hours.
I mean, for sure, yeah. But I mean, definitely the next time I play it, it'll be for sure like a full game for sure. Yeah.
I'll believe it when it happens.
Oh, come on, it happened last time though.
See you later, Max.
All right, guys, have fun.
All right, bye. Good night.
Yes, my lord.
Good night.
Ranging ahead.
Taking the position. Ready for your orders. We're ready, my lord. Reporting in. We're ready, my lord. The enemies of man die this day.
I think I can hear you.
We will bring them death. Heavy
Oh,
weaponry
really?
standing by.
Okay.
Here to
I sure
serve.
can. That's
Here to
unfortunate.
serve.
I was really hoping
Here
you'd
to
run
serve.
into chaos
Reporting
first.
in, my lord. Saturating area with suppressive fire.
Hi.
Marching with all due haste.
Tank
I'm pretty much.
Say
My
Commander.
lord. Where do you need us? We're ready, my lord.
Tank
Oh,
commander.
come on, man. Ah, I gotta sell that. I keep forgetting.
Reporting in, my lord. Reporting in.
Yes, my lord. Repositioning. Tank commander ready.
To attention, men.
I'm definitely fucked because I'm about to get pinched between you and Chaos.
All right, and the AI will probably go for you.
Yep. Yeah, I was making my way towards Max because we were supposed to team up. And now I've ran into Chaos and he's not played by Max no more, so I don't even know if it's worth fucking continuing. I'm gonna
Like,
continue just because we've already invested.
do you
But,
do
like,
you have an
I've
army?
lost.
Do you have an army right now or no?
I have an army, man, but I wasn't able to keep a unit alive until like turn 20
Mm,
because the robots rolled up on my base and they were just killing anyone who came out.
wow. Yeah, I mean, it sounded pretty bad when you were explaining it, like especially if the robots were hitting your main base. That definitely slows you down. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to, if you just want to just end it. I mean,
Nah, let's keep going.
if you want to fight my army, I'll try to. I mean, it sounds like I'm close to you, maybe. I don't know.
We're good.
I'm
We'll keep
I'm
going.
going up the map, so I'm bound to go into somebody pretty soon.
I hear you. You're right on top of me. It's gonna be
Okay.
me here very soon.
Tank commander ready.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh wow, all the wildlife ran away from me. That must mean they're scared of my army.
Ready for orders.
They're
They
terrified.
literally just like ran away like cockroaches.
Give me a task. We're ready, my lord. Heavy weaponry standing by. We're ready, my lord.
I'm actually surprised you haven't ran into Chaos on the simple fact that I haven't been able to
Forward
move
for the
much.
Emperor. Fix bayonets.
This is very unfortunate for me.
Suppressive fire. Here to serve.
Yeah, I see where
Redeploying
Chaos is
weaponry.
taking an outpost. Yeah, I'm
We will hold
about
that
to get
position,
pinched
my
between the
lord.
two of you.
For the Imperium, we go.
But you know, like the real crazy part of like, okay, so the conversations, you know, that all three of us were like talking freely and whatever, and you would think America is about freedom of speech and having your own opinion and being able to disagree and agree, right? And be civil about it and move on with your life, right? And then guess what? When it comes to voting, you vote for the person that, you know, resonates most with your views or whatever, right? Whether it be your mayor, your Congress, or your president, right? But just saying some of the stuff that you, me, what we said, like literally, um, like some of our stuff that we said could be taken out of context and also used to like get us fired from our job or um you know, in that regard, like
Yeah.
like they weaponize this like political correctness and what you can say and what you can't say, um and I think that's just so I I I I I don't think that's a good idea. Like people, what people don't understand is, yeah, fine. If you want to silence a certain group of people, what's gonna stop them from then eventually silencing you next, right? So, it's one of those things where people don't understand that it's a two-edged sword. Like it could come back and bite you. I mean, look. We were talking a little bit about like Nazis and whatnot, but you look at how like Hitler was kind of like, oh, I'm for the people and the people love me. But then as soon as he gets into power, he gets more power. He changes things, and then eventually you can't say anything negative about the party and stuff like that, and the secret police is watching you. And like, do people that live in America really want that to happen, where you have the secret police listening to if you disagree with something that's not politically correct and whatnot?
Ready for action.
Problem
sir.
is
Scout Sentinels redeployed.
the biggest problem is the lack of education. You have, I hate to say it, but the liberal supporters, like not so much the politicians, because in a way those guys are geniuses. They're manipulating people who are not very smart. The supporters of the liberal politicians, of democratic policies, they're not very educated, even though like so many of them go to college. So you got two fronts here. You got the kids who go to college and they vote for socialism because they have no real fucking life experience. All they hear is free school and free healthcare, and they're all about that because guess what? They're in student debt because they're going to college. And we do have a serious college student debt problem. I'm not saying we don't. So you get that side. You think they're intelligent people because they're going to college, but the truth is they're kids out of high school who have no life experience whatsoever. They don't really know what the fuck they're talking about. And then you have the other side, the minority side that supports the Democratic policies. The Democrats get up there and they preach about how they're for the minority party and blah, 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 blah. But the unfortunate side is they're not very educated, specifically in history. They don't know what went down in Germany during Nazi Germany era. They don't know what goes down in Venezuela, when that all collapsed and shit. They don't know about how Iraq was during Desert Storm. They don't know their history. They don't realize that, yes, like you said, they're going to try to silence a certain group, which, by the way, they're actually the minority, but because the way the media portrays them, they seem like the majority. But because they're going to try to silence one group, the majority is finally going to have enough, rise up, and silence them. And then, yeah, they're not going to like what happens next.
And don't you see how it's so funny how the general conservative person, right, doesn't try to silence the other view, right?
Yeah, we don't.
They're all about like, I'm glad you have your freedom of speech and you can say that, but I disagree, right? But the other side is like, no, you're not allowed to even say that, and you're gonna lose your job. You're gonna lose this. We're gonna blast you on Blast and Twitter, and we're gonna make sure everyone hates you and you're demonized and everything. Like conservatives don't do that. Like we don't play that game. So it's like, I don't know.
But again, that comes back to we're more educated. We actually know how the economy works. We know how small business and big corporations affect the economy. Like it really comes down to just knowledge, just simple basic knowledge. We know history. We know how politics actually work.
Well, I can tell you, people that actually lived in communist countries or fascist countries, they are not buying this whole this radical left movement.
No.
They smell the coffee. They know they lived it. They're the first people to say, like, look at this group is crazy. I lived in those type of countries, and you do not want to bring this to America.
Yeah, exactly.
But the people out there with the purple hair and everything, they're the ones that never lived in those countries, yet they pronounce that it's such a righteous thing that's going to happen. It's going to change the country, and everything's going to be a utopia, and all equal rights and all this like loveliness. Because apparently America is so nasty and bad and irredeemable right now, and the only person that can save it is Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. Wow,
It's fucking crazy. I mean, like I tell people all the time, I was like, you want to know? Okay, like. First off, yeah, you can talk to some people who made their way here from these communist dictatorship countries, and they'll tell you that you're wrong. But if you don't want to listen to them, ask any one of your veterans. I've been to Afghanistan and Iraq, and these people over here don't know a goddamn thing what they're talking about. So in Afghanistan, when we would do our convoys, we used to throw out candy. So when we would go through a village, the villagers, they would like surround our vehicles wanting things. So we used to throw candy out to the crowd to get them to disperse away from the vehicles.
Yes, my lord.
And
The
our
machine does not
chaplain
hesitate.
had to tell us that we couldn't do that no more because literally a 14-year-old boy beat to death an 8-year-old kid over a sucker.
Wow.
Sir, your orders.
That's
Heavy
the
weaponry
real kind of
standing by.
shit that goes down in those countries.
To attention, men. Report to
Americans
me.
don't
We need
know
medic
shit,
here.
and that's what I'm saying. As
Sir,
someone who
orders.
served in the army,
Heavy weaponry
in the United
standing
States
by.
Army, who protects this Constitution and these Americans' freedom of rights, as someone who did that and risked my life, I'm ashamed of a lot of Americans because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they don't know how good they really, really have it.
Well, let me ask you another question. How many people that you know that burn the flag and they've actually served in the army, you know, and watched their friends die or
Very,
lose?
very few. There
Right.
there are some,
Yeah, I'm
but
sure.
very,
I'm sure there are, but like, I mean, we're talking about if you took the majority of people that served our country, right? How many of them are willing to just walk all over the flag, burn it? No, there's. I mean, maybe a very minor fringe
very, very,
group.
very, very few.
Okay, but you guys, because you guys put your lives for the country, and you know what that flag really represents, right? And the people that have died for that flag that we're supposed to now bend the knee to because we're such a evil country. Don't forget about World War II, because Americans didn't do anything in World War II, and give liberty back to all those European countries, right, that got taken over. But yeah, it's crazy. You're right. People don't research all the facts. They watch a lot of different news channels and they just believe everything that gets fed to them. And they like to flip it back on us and be like, oh, you just watch Fox News all day long and that's where you get all your talking points. It's like, okay, well, no.
Actually, I get mine from YouTube. I find that YouTube content creators are
Right. That's what I'm saying. Or I mean, history books, YouTube. There's lots of content out there for all.
Oh yeah, I'm
things.
talking about current news. I get mine from YouTube content. But yeah, history books. If you want to see how really communism and socialism goes down, read a fucking history book. It never worked out well for them.
I mean, I bet you that some of these hardcore socialists, they probably have never read about, real, like, the history of Joseph Stalin and what he did to the Russian people and everything. Like, they probably never even touched a history book.
Mao from China, that guy killed millions, tens of millions.
And if they did read about it and they did know how bad and what happened, then they got to be pretty evil in the head to be like, oh yeah, I want this for my children to grow up in, like, I think what it is they have this weird warped vision that they think, well, this time they'll get communism right, or this time they'll get socialism right, and it'll be perfect. But until Jesus Christ comes back, it's not going to happen, because you know what? Human power corrupts power, right? And that's why our forefathers in America made it so that not one group would have more power than the other, and that it would be a balancing act, and that they were very smart. Like if you go back,
the Constitution was very, very smart.
Oh no, it was almost like God helped them. Like when you study it and they were able to see the future and be like, okay, we gotta have this written up so that it will be, it'll protect the people that live in this country, right? And yeah, so I agree with you. People need to research themselves. Start taking those red pills, like.
Delivery
Yeah, the Constitution was honestly it was fucking genius. Where it started going wrong was when either a certain president or a certain congressman wanted to tweak it. Because like right now Congress actually has the most power in the United States. It's absurd how much power Congress has. So I really feel like a lot of their here's what really happened with Congress. So like right now, Congress gave themselves too much power. First off, you should never have a power that can give themselves too much power. Like Congress can literally they determine their paychecks. I think that's the stupidest thing ever. But the other problem is our forefathers
No hiding from us.
never intended being in the Congress as a lifetime profession. It was never intended to be a lifetime profession. It was intended to be a public service, and then once you did like a few terms, a few years, you went off and you did something in America as an American citizen. What's happened is these fucking 60, 70, 80-year-old congressmen has turned it into a profession. And these people just really need to get the fuck out of office already.
Yeah, it's well, you know what? I said it earlier. I think you're gonna see a landslide, a victory for the Republicans, and it's just mainly because the Democrats refuse to wake up and see what the average American thinks. You know, like I mean, right now they're starting to realize that like they need to condemn the violence. Oh God, there's my engineers. So, but I honestly think it's way too late. I think the average American has saw what has transpired, and I think it's like it's too late. I mean, Joe Biden's in full panic mode right now.
Tank commander, ready.
No, my
Ready for
artillery.
action, sir.
Heavy weaponry standing by.
Yeah, Joe Biden's got to definitely be panicking.
No, he literally changed his whole strategy. He did a literally 180. Cause I mean it took his allies at CNN to be like, oh God, I need to change my strategy. They literally were going like, Joe Biden needs to come out of his basement and he needs to say that the rioting and looting is wrong and it has to stop, or he's gonna lose all his voters. And what do you know? The next day he does exactly that. Oh wow.
Basilisk artillery piece has been delivered.
I live to serve. There is no time to waste. Reporting in, my lord.
Commander here.
Heavy weaponry standing by. Redeploying heavy weaponry. For the Astra Militarum. We're ready, my lord. Orders received and understood. Orders received and understood. Taking the position.
Sentinels here. Just give us a target. Yes, my lord. Firing on your coordinates.
Wooey!
Ready for action, sir.
Here to serve. Proceeding with caution. Forwards for the Emperor! Reporting in. For the Imperium, we go!
Yeah, I'm not dead yet. I still got some fight in me. Let's see.
Ready to command.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but he's still alive.
Commander here.
Yeah, I have a lot of heavy weapons, Steves. Actually, I think I have too many. So I don't think Carnifexes will be much of a problem for me.
Where do you need us? We're ready, my lord.
Ready for your orders.
So the only thing I would say is with Tyranids, they're not the best. So all your troops are now like kind of in standby right now. Usually, what you want to do with Tyranids is like completely like wipe out a force. Right now, I'm just gonna like probably kill half your army here. Let's see.
Get some backbone, you cowards, and return fire! Here to serve. Yes, my lord. Firing. Reporting in, my lord. Redeploying heavy weaponry. Behold the fury of the Astra Militarum, unleashing a hailstorm of death. We're ready, my lord. Sir, your orders.
Yes, my lord. Basilisk crew reporting in. Just give us a target. Target confirmed.
To attention, men. We're ready, my
Yeah,
lord.
I would have had a much bigger force and a more advanced force if it wasn't for
Taking
that
the
start.
position. Unleashing a hailstorm of death. We have our orders, men.
Sentinels here.
To attention, men.
Oh, I'm blinded. That's why these guys
We have our orders, men.
probably do any damage.
For victory! Death to all his enemies! Here to serve.
I will go wherever the Imperium needs me.
To attention, men. As ordered, redeploying. Heavy weaponry standing by. Redeploying heavy weaponry. Reporting
In fact,
in.
I've actually still got a robot
Reporting in.
on my
Sir,
base, attacking my
Ready to
base.
command. The Emperor's wrath comes for him.
Reporting in, my lord. We're ready, my lord. As ordered, redeploying.
Reporting in, my lord.
Sir, your orders.
Yes, my lord.
All right.
weaponry standing by.
How do I want to deal with?
For victory! Death to all his enemies! Sir, your orders. Forwards for the Emperor!
Scout walkers reporting. Sentinels launching attack run. Just give us a target.
We're ready, my
Oh,
lord.
Yeah, that
no.
start fucked me up, man. That start really fucked me up.
Ready to command.
Fuck
Oh, I
me.
forgot to use my buff with my tank commander. Oh, well.
Basilisk crew
Really?
reporting in.
One fucking health.
Like, kill it with the Ravener.
There's not one close enough. Well, yeah, there is. I mean, it's not gonna matter though.
Problem is, you definitely don't want to lose the,
Ready for orders.
what do you call it? The Turvagon. If you lose the Turvagon, I think that would probably be the end.
Yeah, this is game right here. This is all I have. Like I was saying, I haven't had a chance to build my army.
But you see how like what your strength is, like your explosiveness, how you can come out of nowhere and just like, like you took like a big portion of some of my units that were going through a rally area. The mistake I think was you then just pushed in all your units into the my clump of my army was. You kind of want to wait for me to like walk into your trap, so to speak, and then kill me.
Yeah.
Like Tyranids is not like one of those races where you like, okay, I'm just gonna push everything in the front, and then I will like that. That's more like Necron, because Necron could do like armored up and stuff like that. Your strength is just like you just want to like wipe out the force in one go. So you need to do like scouting, like have a good
That's
so
the
you-
robot, by the way, who's been attacking my base.
oh yeah.
Ready for orders. Tank battalion, give no mercy.
Here to
All right.
I mean, yeah, you can see my Turbogon's not even like level 6. Like this has been a horrible start.
Ready for your orders. Reporting in, my lord. Behold the fury of the Astra Militarum.
Tank commander, ready.
Here to serve. Saturating area with suppressive fire. Delivering death. Sir, your orders. Orders received and understood. Reporting in, my lord. As ordered. Redeploying.
Ready for orders.
Here to serve. Reporting in, my lord. Orders received.
Orders
Maskless
received.
crew reporting in.
Let's see. What do I want to get rid of?
Not to mention, again, I'm also being attacked by Chaos.
Oh really?
Yeah, I told you, I ran into Max earlier. I was moving towards where he was. So I've been retreating from Chaos this whole time.
Of course, moving. Laces in. Aim and fire.
Charge men to victory!
So not only did I have like the most awful start I've ever had before, but I was trying to meet up with Max, that way we could push on you together, and he left the game.
Oh yeah.
Death approaches.
Let's see.
Release smoke cover. Drag me closer. I want to hit them with my sword.
For victory! Death to all his enemies!
Right, lads.
But yeah, you'll see Max is like to the northeast. He's been pushing down on me. Well, not him, but the AI now.
Ready for orders.
Take that. I know how much that Sentinel meant to you.
Yeah, I mean, to be truthful, like I think like for a lot of my turns, I basically wasn't doing anything, but yeah, I think getting attacked by robots, that's definitely gonna make it easier for me
Ready to support the fire in
to
lines, my
to
lord.
defeat your army, right? Because you would probably have a lot bigger army than the troops that you have right now.
Well, you're gonna see it on the scoreboard, dude. It's ridiculous.
Reporting in.
Like I'm pretty much flatlined for a lot of the game.
Boss,
I'm pretty
throwing
sure.
Coordinates. Just give us a target.
Okay.
Heavy weaponry standing by. Taking the position. Orders received, my lord. We will hold that position, my lord. Unleashing a hailstorm of death. Behold the fury of the Astra Militarum. To attention, men. We comply. To attention, men. To the waypoint. Charge, men, to victory. Orders received, my lord. Sir, your orders. We comply. To attention, men. Yes, my lord. Engaging.
I will lead from the front.
Sir, your orders. Marching with all due haste.
Basilisk, awaiting coordinates.
Heavy weaponry standing by.
Just give us a target.
Losing that first Malanthrope too really sucked because that was a base expansion.
Oh yeah, that was.
Give me a task.
I'm not even gonna worry about doing cities. This is pretty much it once you take these guys out.
Ready for your orders.
Ha! Hey, guess what? That robot came back up to attack my base
Artillery
again.
piece has been delivered.
Here to serve.
Right.
Redeploying heavy weaponry. Reporting in, my lord.
Yeah, I like playing with Max, man, but God, he's always got to go during these games. I wish he would just stay for just one full fucking
Yes, my lord.
game.
Firing. Every shot will count, my lord. Every shot will count, my lord. Where do you need us? We will hold that position, my lord.
Basilisk crew reporting in. It's always better to fight your enemy before he fights you.
Yep. I'm gonna surrender right here, dude.
All right. Economy. Oh yeah, I see where. It looks like he had a big dip. In 2 areas. That's probably when the robots were attacking you.
It was not a fun experience for me.
Well, thanks for the game. I gotta head to bed, but I guess I'll catch you around, all right?
Yeah, definitely, dude. Thanks for the game.